The song, When Irish Eyes Are Smiling, says, when Irish eyes are smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Because you know the Irish think they're very special, and they have this very special relationship with France. And I really believed that when my eyes were smiling, I could change the world. I was born in 1945. Sean Scully is my name, and I like to say that I was a conscientious objector, and I delayed my birth until the war was over. And my parents at that time were already deserters from the war. They moved to Ireland, you know, because of this ambivalent relationship between fighting for the empire or not. And my eponymous grandfather hung himself in 1916. So my dad was illegitimate, and he was a very ill-equipped father, you could say. My parents were, I would say, insane. So I had a very neurotic, difficult childhood. My childhood was, I would describe my childhood as a disaster. And I'm having my childhood now, and a delayed childhood. So anyway, we were in Ireland, in Dublin, homeless, and the Gypsies took us in. And on my birth certificate, it says traveller, which is what I am. And they were very kind to us, and I still identify with them. We eventually moved to London, to an incredible rough part of London, the Old Kent Road. We lived in 3 slums, and two small memories I would like to recount are as follows. One is a little like the Orson Welles story, where he refers to his sled, I think, as he's dying. Mine is my little 3-wheeler bike, which was cerulean blue. And this cerulean blue, for some reason, embedded itself in my brain. When I started painting, my early paintings always contain cerulean blue, same color as this little bicycle. I used to drive around these streets completely unmonitored. I mean, this couldn't happen today. I would cross streets as a 4-year-old in front of trucks and buses. I survived everything. And and the other little incident that always sticks in my mind, and I don't remember why, is that when somebody came round once, they lifted up all the floorboards in this slum where we lived, and all the rats ran out of the house. And instead of feeling revolted by the rats, I felt great pity for the rats, because they had nowhere to live, and they all ran out into the street, homeless, like we were. So I identified with these animals, and I've had this strange relationship with animals ever since, which I have written about variously. You know, I had an animal hospital when I was a kid, when I was about 11. So after the Old Kent Road, we moved to Highbury, which was an Irish ghetto. And on Blackwell Hill, where we lived, I saw signs that said, no Irish, no blacks, no dogs. Even so, I want to say that victimhood is not helping you at all. I never felt sorry for myself. And I always felt that the world was an opportunity. My grandmother was very religious, and I was very religious in the beginning. I was at convent school for 2 years. It was fantastic. I loved it. My granny was a pub singer. She used to sing in pubs for whiskey. And she would sing songs like, "How can you buy Killarney when Irish eyes are smiling?" Now, the song, "When Irish Eyes Are Smiling," says, when Irish eyes are smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Because you know the Irish think they're very special, and they have this very special relationship with France. And I really believed that when my eyes were smiling, I could change the world. I grew up believing this from this song and from Jesus, of course, going to church. So I was somehow, as a child, illuminated by these beliefs. I don't call them delusions. I believed these things. And this, I think, empowered me very greatly. After we moved from Highbury, where my granny had the faux Rouen Cathedral paper that you can put on windows in houses to make it look like a church. And the light would come in, and this affected me very much. Also, in the church, which was a shed, because Joan of Arc was bombed during the war, in the church, which was not very big, just like this, half of this gallery, there were Stations of the Cross paintings. This is key. The colors were black, dirty white, red. When my cousin died, my cousin was an alcoholic, nymphomaniac, wild Irish girl. When she died, I went to the funeral. I asked the priest for these paintings, and he said, quote, "I'm so sorry. They were such bad paintings, we threw them away." Isn't that interesting? They were so bad, they threw them away, but for me, they were extremely important. And seeing this cross go like this, as it traveled up Calvary, and then whoop, this was super interesting to me as a child. Then we went to South London, which was a true disaster, because then I was just with my parents and my little brother, and my parents were fucking crazy. And it was like being in a pressure cooker until the pressure was so big, the lid would fly off, and then it would be bang, crash, bang, whack. And of course, I became a hooligan. And I was in a gang, and I lost my relationship with art.